And we're back.
Back again. Accountability
All right, so
again.
I want to talk about something. My whole life, I'm 46 years young. I'm thriving. I've never really felt better. But my whole life, I've really struggled with indulgence, all kinds. I've never had any crazy, like, oh my gosh, I'm alcoholic, I'm a coke addict, crack addict. I've never been to this extreme. I've always been a functional addict, but I've literally been addicted to so many things. I've been addicted to ice cream, pizza, embarrassing enough, masturbation, porn, movies, being lazy, sleeping in, bread. Oh my gosh, addicted to so many things, right? And just my and I've cigarettes, alcohol too. I've never been a crazy alcoholic, but yeah, there's been big chunks of my life where every single time I go out, I'm drinking. That's not healthy behavior. And I drink and I would get drunk. I wouldn't just drink and get a nice little buzz and be cool. No, I drink and I get drunk. Still drive and still be function. You know, I'm not sloppy drunk. I'm not getting blackout drunk and passing out. That's a level I didn't go to, but still been abusing all these things for decades. And for decades, I've been struggling and trying with all my might, literally all my might, to overcome them, to stop them. The only thing I ever overcame was I quit smoking cigarettes. But everything else, it was an up and down journey. Sometimes I'd be good, sometimes I'd be bad. You know, just I'd eat good, then I'd eat bad. I'd work out for a little bit, then I'd stop working out. I'd wake up early and then I'd start sleeping in late. You know, I just on and on and on and on and on. Finally, after decades and decades of struggling with this issue, I have found something that works for me, and I'm gonna tell you about it in a second. But what has been your experience with battling with indulgences and addictions and lack of sticking to your word and your plan for your life?
Yeah, I mean, wasted a lot of time, indulging in things and believing in things, or not being intellectually rigorous in finding out things, you know what I mean? Just kind of laxing and just kind of floating through life. All the same addictions as you had. Not so extreme. I've been pretty steady in my workouts and stuff like that, but we all have our weaknesses. Alcohol would probably be mine. Like I said, I don't get sloppy drunk, but I drink, and I can drink daily. And so I quit for 10 years. Everything changed. It's like amazing. But food's always been there. I think food has always been the constant, because I was still eating bread and mixing things up, and still eating sweets, and my teeth, like issues were coming up. So and it was showing itself, and I wanted to try, but like I would try and fall off, and it just, like, at some point, the older you get, the more discipline you have to get. You cannot do the things you used to do. Your body doesn't recover as fast. And so, this is where people break down. After 45, either they're going to really start breaking down, like really fast, or they can learn from the past, what they're doing, why they have arthritis, why they're limping, why I look decrepit, why my skin is, I got bags under my eyes, and I'm getting this gut. Like, oh, that's just part of getting old. No, it's not. They'll tell you that, but no, you're not making any adjustments. You haven't done the work to find out what actually works, what you can maintain doing. So I'm just glad I'm here. It's always been on my mind, but I would have long plateaus of staying just plateaued.
And this thing that I'm about to bring up, has it?
Yes. The accountability chart. Yes. Because you have to, because if you don't see it, well, I think.
Well, before we get into the details, I want what's been the experience, because I want to build it up a little bit more. Like, how has it helped you? Before we get into what it is.
The accountability chart means that you get to see.
No. How? What has been happening to you? Let's not talk about it yet.
I see what you're saying.
What's the benefits of it for you so far?
More energy, more focus, better control of my cravings, slowly getting more addicted to how I feel than what I want. You know what I mean? And that's what the 10 years of not drinking alcohol taught me that too. I was beginning to see, like, oh, once I get used to not drinking, oh, my body's leaning up, I'm looking ripped. and it just gets easier and easier and easier, and then you get addicted to the feeling of waking up in the morning and ready to attack life.
Yes.
Like, getting up is
getting up and looking in the mirror and going, ooh, I hope no one sees me for another 2 hours. This puffy face.
You can tell like, how long your morning face stays is
how clean your lymph system is, probably.
Also too, like when I even do the days of the cleanest carnivore, man, like my skin and there's no bags, like I look tight. My skin looks tight and youthful.
Yep.
Like it happens that fast.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
The way your body will bounce back so fast, it's amazing.
Yeah.
In my whole life before this that I'm about to get into, the only time I was ever able to be disciplined was when I'm fasting. Like I have to stop every single thing, and then I'm no longer doing all these things that are bad. But to live a life and to that was the hard part, to actually be eating and not overindulging, to actually be going out and living a full life without indulging. That's what's been impossible. So about a month ago, in this lifelong struggle, really, people, I'm telling you, it's been a lifelong struggle. I've written about it. I've tried. I've banged my head. I've cried. I've like done so many things to overcome, because I know the potential of my life and every human being. And not only me, I look around and I see everybody else struggling with the same thing. I don't know anybody who is as disciplined as they want to be or as I want to be. I know they exist. I think, there's people like David Goggins, and there's people out there that are doing it, obviously, and they're at the top echelons of humanity. But I don't lay my eyes on anybody who's doing it. Almost everybody I know is slightly overweight at the minimum.
Yes.
And I should be slightly overweight, but I have a different metabolism. I'm skinny. So I'm underweight. So, there's like, we're all out of balance and we're all struggling with this thing. That's why I want to share this thing with you that has really been amazing. So it's been 19 days. So about a month ago, I said to my cousin, Stretch, I said, yo, let's try something new. And he said, I'm down, because you're a truth lover and you're on the path as well. And I said, let's put up an accountability chart. Let's just put it up on the wall. Let's make a list of all the things that we want to do that we think will make our life better. Let's put a 30-day chart up there. And when we do the thing that we said, or we don't do the thing that, or we avoid the thing that we said we're going to avoid, we put up a check. And if we fail, then we put up a red X or a red check. That's simple. We said, okay, let's try it out. As soon as we did it, I made it out. I went and bought a big old white placard or, cardboard paper, spent a few minutes writing it out, put it on the wall. Now we get to see this chart. And the idea was, let's see, like, a little bit of public shame, but it wasn't like, the only rule is, here's the only rule, you just have to fill it out every day. That's the rule. So, and you got to be honest. So I trust my cousin. He trusts me. So we know we're not going to lie. That's just a fail. That's like a double fail. That's a fail all around.
Doesn't help nobody.
No, it's better to fail, not do what you said, have to fill it up with reds, than to lie and pretend like you're doing that. That's a whole other thing. So since we already have that trust and bond, we knew that we were going to follow it. So we put it up. Instantly, all the things I've struggled with my whole life, I was able to do. So here was things on my list: carnivore diet, working out every day, no FAP. I don't know if you know what that means, but you probably do. No coffee. I've been drinking coffee every morning for a long time. No drinking alcohol. No smoking marijuana. And working out every day. So I put 7 things. My cousin, you can talk about yours in a second. So I did all those things. Instantly, I was able to do them all. Instantly, just knowing that if I drink coffee, intermittent fasting with the 8-hour window. First, I started with 1 meal a day, but that was like too strict. So I expanded it to, 8-hour window. I can do that for this month. And just knowing that if I drink coffee or smoke weed or drink alcohol, I have to put up a red thing. That was enough. That was just enough to make me not want to do it. There's something about that little tiny bit of public shame, just knowing, of keeping track, of keeping clarity, that was able to put me over the hump. Now, 19 days in, I have been almost perfect. There's only been like 3 or 4 things that I've done. After 19 days, what's 19 times 7? It's like 70. It's like over 113 potentials. I've only put 4 checks. 9 black checks, meaning I succeeded. 4 red checks. That is amazing. And what were your things you put up?
So yeah, we put up like what we struggle with the most. So no fap and drinking and carnivore and then workout, right? And workout's kind of easy for me once I get going. That's always been easy for me. It's a drinking.
But you weren't doing it before. You weren't working out every day.
I wasn't working out like
Not every day. Now you have.
No, because I was doing too much drinking. After 2020 kind of derailed me to get back into more drinking. You know what I mean? Because there was nothing to do and we couldn't go and work out. And so, yeah, that's just an excuse. But so that kind of put some weight on, right? But the no fap, I mean, usually I'd be like, every 2 or 3, 4 days, I was never like one to be crazy with it. But there's some time, I guess when I was younger, but the older you get, it's just like, but that one is a interesting one, like, cause I've never like done 30 days, right? Ever.
And now you're 19 days in.
I'm 19 days in and it's just like, oh wow, who'd have thought that's like a sleeper? But there's so many levels to it now because I realize, if it's not with a real woman, there's some shame to it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, so why are you doing it? And then it's not going to help you get a woman, because it just helps you separate from even dealing with a woman, right?
Yep.
But you get that built up. It's just like, oh, I have to get this. And then maybe you start strategizing a little better and, you know what I mean? Just, it does something. And I think it's one of the reasons why I'm working out more too. I have this, it's hard to explain what it is, what it does, but it's like this, you have to experience it. It's just like energy, but you can't really nail it down.
Yeah.
It's just something. It's a focus. It's just interesting. And the carnivore is fairly easy for me. And then now the working out is better.
They're all fairly easy, right? But it's like the thing about the accountability chart is, so they're all fairly easy, but what's easier is to not do them.
Yeah.
What's even easier than doing what you say is not doing them. And to, in your mind, come up with a reason. Oh, just this, or just that, or it's just this. And then you're not keeping track. So even though you said, oh, I'm going to do this, 2 weeks later, you totally forgot. And you don't even know how many times you're not doing it. The accountability chart just makes it very clear. So like, when you do this, you have to put it up there and you get to see every day what it is. And it just makes it easier. It makes it all of a sudden easier to do what you say than to not do what you say. When without accountability chart, it's a little easier to not do what you say.
Yeah.
So it's just, these are like, I feel like it's a real life hack. And anybody struggling with anything, I recommend you putting up your own accountability chart. Whatever you want to do, whatever you don't want to do. Put it on the wall. Put it for other people to see, or even just you to see. Write out these things, and just the only rule is you have to fill it out every day. Don't slack on it, because if you start slacking, then everything gets vague again, and you can't remember how many times you drank in the last month.
And the devil likes that. Just think about that too. Like, the more we don't see it, then we can create a narrative.
Yes.
That makes us feel better about our careless.
Yeah, that's not true.
It's all hazy and fuzzy and okay, well, and then I did better. I did pretty good.
I improved.
And then but then you actually see it. There is no debate.
Yeah.
It's just raw, and then other people can see it.
Yep.
So it's better to see it, so you know it where it's at, instead of you'll play that game with yourself. You'll give yourself the best, narrative that makes you feel the best about everything you're doing and justify it.
Whereas some vague gray area.
This doesn't allow you to do that.
No.
And then too, like, we're both probably going to put one in our room. So the minute I wake up, I can look at it too. But the looking at it every day, it gives you confidence. Oh, I didn't slip like that. Okay.
And you get a little bit of a dopamine blast when you get to write, check. Like, that's another thing. You get the reward is you get to go check it off every day. I didn't do that. And you're winning. It's like winning. It builds confidence and it builds character, and it's just powerful. And then you can do these things at the right time. So it's not about perfection. It's not about putting up your chart and then not doing anything wrong. So for instance, I have, in the past 19 days, I've drinking twice, and I've not done intermittent fasting twice. But they were the proper times to do that. And today I drank coffee. Why? Because we did 3 podcasts today. So this is the first time in 19 days I've drinking coffee. That's when you should do coffee. When you're going to do 3 podcasts. I was drinking coffee every morning, 2 cups, 3 cups every day. That's too much. That's way too much. That's bull. That's weakness. That's a lie. You don't need it, right? I'm not judging anybody. I'm talking about myself. That's a lie. That's me being weak. I don't need to do anything every day. I love this new me that doesn't need anything. I have no crutches anymore. There's nothing I need to lean on to get me through the day, or I need a reward. No. And I like this idea that I need to drink to have fun. No, you don't. You don't need to drink to have fun. Oh, I'm going to be around people. You don't need to drink. Trust me. Drink is fun, obviously, but it's false fun. One thing I love about not drinking is I'm so tired of the false, bubbly, unearned happiness. The drunken smile, I'm just happy. No, you're not. That's unearned happiness. It's not true. And anybody who's sober recognizes it. Mm-hmm. And it's not pleasing to be around. Unless the other person's drunk with their false happiness, then it's fun because you both are riding on this wave of false happiness. You think everything you're saying is brilliant. You think you love this person. It's false. It's a lie.
You talk about all the things you're gonna do, but you can't even wake up the next motherfucking day. Oh, sorry.
You make all these promises. How many times I've said, "Yeah, let's do this. I mean it, and I mean it." When I say, "Oh my God, no, I'm gonna do this," let's do it. And then I wake up in the morning like, "Oh, I ain't doing that.
I ain't doing none of that."
I love being sober, and I still, when I go out, I still can stay out as long as anybody. I still have a great time. I'm still social. It's a lie. You don't need alcohol to have fun. You don't need it to social lubricate. Is there a time for it? Yeah. I drank once when I went to this Shabbat dinner, and it was about wine. It's okay, yeah, fine. It was all right. And at the end of the night, I was like, I didn't need to drink, but I did it, and it wasn't a big deal because I'm not doing it all the time. So that's what I'm saying. Do this accountability chart, but don't worry about being perfect. What will happen will be natural. Because you'll see it. It's like you just won't want to do these things because you got to write it on the wall. You don't want to write it on the wall.
And then too, you'll start to feel the benefits of not doing it, which is together with that,
that combo.
Yeah, that combo. So it's about seeing it. Just now I realize too, if the darkness is definitely playing on each one, man and woman's weakness. So most of it leads us to waste time and be in isolation eventually. And when we're in isolation by ourselves a lot, we can give ourselves the narratives that make us feel good, right? That's what he wants. To be in the eyes of people and being around people and doing stuff like this. Other people looking at you and seeing, what you're doing, that motivates you to want to be more disciplined. If I just scoot off into my own world every day and nobody's seeing what I do, you know what I mean? Then the sky's the limit. You can lie. You can just do all kinds of stuff. You have so many exit routes. Whereas when you're actually, like say for instance, going to church, and seeing people regularly that you respect and you talk about what you're doing and what and like that keeps you accountable. But it seems the darkness wants to pull you into being isolated so then he can be in your ear and then you'll tell yourself what you want to hear and then time wasted, nothing built, and then you die.
If anybody wants to be on this journey, I highly recommend it. If you want any help, email us at stretchandtempo@gmail.com and I will help you. You can order an accountability chart from us. We'll send you, it's $9.99 and there'll be 12 sheets, laminated, beautiful paper, and put it on your wall and let's go. So if you'd like that, email us at stretchandtempo@gmail.com. Let's do this. It is a game changer. I know you're struggling with it if you're in the 99%, because we all are. So, and again, it's not about perfection. And there's no, whatever it is. Here's the guideline to when you're making your own accountability chart. What do you think is best for your life? What are the 3 to 12 things that if you did or didn't do would improve your life that you think? Find out. That's what it's about. It's not about following my plan or Stretch's plan or anybody else's plan. Follow your own plan. You are the creator and the designer of your life. You know, or at least you think you know what's best for you. So find out. So I'm going to add a couple things. I'm going to add meditating every day. I want to meditate 5 minutes every day.
We'll have one in our personal room, right?
Yep. I'm gonna add, and I want to write.
Be lofty, be lofty. Like, this is what I want to do every day. Like, these are my basic things that I have to stop.
Core.
But then, what should I be adding that's gonna push it?
What do you think you're gonna put in your room?
Probably meditation too, because that's gonna definitely help getting up and meditating. Mm-hmm. Another thing I remember reading in one of the I think the Devil's Afraid of Me. That guy, he was like, we're in a fight, right? We're in a fight, and a lot of people don't think they're in a fight, right?
Yeah.
But he goes, the devil says, that's why you're losing, because you don't know you're in a fight.
You're
in a fight for your life, for your
soul,
purpose, for your
happiness,
potential, like you could possibly be. You're in a fight, and everything is trying to undermine it. Every time you step out of that door, darkness is trying to undermine it.
Yes.
It's up to you and your willpower to find out and make it your business to understand what you're fighting.
Yes.
And,
you're fighting a worthy adversary. Trust that.
And he's trying to convince you he's not there.
Yes.
So once you understand you're really in a fight, then you can actually start to put your defenses up and see what's going to work, what's going to make you a warrior.
The devil wants you to put everything off and just wander around in a vague malaise,
wasting
time, seeking pleasure, and thinking that this next delicious meal is the high point of your life. No, that should be the low point of your day. That should be like the least exciting thing.
When you frame it like that, that's like crazy. You frame it in a way like, God damn, like I'm seeking pleasure, I'm wasting time. Everything I'm seeking is undermining everything that I am.
That you truly are capable of. You are a human being. You are one of the greatest, most amazing creations in the universe. In the universe, you can create life. You can create work, like so much. One person can change all of humanity. One person can change the universe. Look at Elon Musk. He's putting people on other planets. One man is literally changing the shape of planet Earth. You have that potential as well, and more, and more. So, but guess what? Not if you don't can't even follow your word. Not if you can't be like, I'm going to do this, and then you don't do it. So this will help you. I promise you, it will help you. Order one from us, $9.99 before they sell out.
There it is. I think that's good. I think we did it enough, but we're going to keep retouching these topics as we keep, seeing the benefits of it. And just the best thing to do is just, seek out things for yourself and not just trust what you've been told, because let's be real, it's like 98% of it is a lie, and you don't know that yet. And you're not supposed to know that until you actually want to seek it out and just kind of understand, like, something's off. Like you're running on a treadmill getting nowhere. You know what I mean? And so how do you get somewhere? You know what I mean? You got to know. Like, I love that, because people don't know they're in a fight.
Yeah,
they just don't know.
You're in a fight. And look at the Bible. The whole Old Testament is war. War. We're in a war, people. We're in a war. Light versus dark. And it's the design of this duality, and it's fine. It's beautiful. It's God's creation. It's the process we're in.
And if you just understand everything you've been told, pretty much you've been lied to, and every time you go out the door, it's designed to undermine everything that you are, your potential. It's here to undermine your potential and your purpose.
Yep.
And so you have to know what the enemy's attacks are.
Yes.
And they're everywhere. On every level.
But you can overcome. And this is one of the tools. So thank you. We are Stretch and Tempo. If you guys have any questions that you want answered, if you have any topics you want us to touch, email us at stretchandtempo@gmail.com. If you're in the Texas area and you need any remodeling work done, that's what Tempo does. He's a master remodeler. Email us, stretchandtempo@gmail. If you like work getting done right the first time, he ain't the cheapest, but he's not the most expensive. He's properly priced to get the work done the right way the first time. Reliable, beautiful work, tiles, bathrooms. That's what's up. If you need any video work, you need some editing, you need something shot, that's what I do. I'm in the Austin area. We're in the Austin, Dripping Springs area. Email us at stretchandtempo@gmail.com. If you need an accountability chart, email us. Okay, people? Questions, ideas, let's go. This is the biggest podcast on the planet. We are helping shape the earth into a more beautiful future.
Amen.